I'm going to say a lot of things that may bother some of you, but please be patient. I'm not your enemy. I'm going to tell you things about your society that you may or may not know. The language we speak was designed hundreds of years ago, and it's almost impossible to talk to one another. Although we think we talk to one another, we really repeat a language that's highly insufficient. Whatever you say to other people, it goes in their heads and comes out to fit their society. You don't always communicate with people. Can we develop a language that has consistent meaning? Well, if you still don't understand me, sometimes I might say, have a nice weekend. Why don't we say, have a nice life? Why just the weekend? When a teacher says to a child, that's wrong, that doesn't tell a child anything. Think about it. That's wrong. What does that tell you? Nothing in particular. And the teacher says, that's not what I told you. That doesn't tell the child anything. And there's another bullshit word, and that's love. Now, most of us don't like everything we've done in life. I'm sure we don't. We made mistakes, we made false judgments. So sometimes you like yourself, sometimes a little bit, sometimes not at all. So love is a fluctuating thing. Even if you marry somebody and love them, you'll find sometimes you love them very much, a little less. Sometimes, how did I ever get in this situation? So love is a fluctuating thing, not a fixed thing. That's why we don't understand what's happening. So most of our language is empty. The schools do not educate people. They teach you to become a cog in the wheel. They teach you to become a carpenter, an engineer, an architect. All these are false fields. They have to teach you how to become a generalist, how to understand the history of civilization, which is lacking in all our universities. They'd be shut down in the future, and people will be brought up to become generalists. So they understand human behavior, they understand what makes a person, what gives a person drive. So all of us are brought up to believe there are different kinds of people, which is a lie. There are no good or bad people. There are no creative people or lazy people. All that is bullshit put out by your country. Just as we go to prize fights and watch men punch the heads of other men, all the things we do are stupid and far beyond civilization. We are not civilized yet. We are not civilized yet. That's why you have prisons, police, war, and all the problems you have, unnecessary human suffering, because people don't understand yet. When we're asked to vote for somebody, we vote for somebody that fits the patterns we've been brought up to accept. I don't want you to take my word. I want you to walk over to any politician you know or do not know and ask them, how can you grow food faster without exhausting the soil and feed the hungry? I don't know. How can you make automobiles that don't hit each other? I don't know. How can you make highways safer? I don't know. They don't know anything. Don't take my word for it. Ask them. They really don't know a damn thing, and I mean politicians all over the world. Oppenheimer went to visit Harry Truman, President Harry Truman, and said, look, now that we have an atom bomb, why don't you demonstrate it about 30 miles out at sea so the Japanese can see it, so you won't have to drop it over Japan. Give them a chance to surrender. Harry Truman said, get out of my office. I never want to see you guys again. And he dropped the atom bomb on Hiroshima, Nagasaki, because he was a jackass. Most presidents are very stupid people. They know nothing about ecology, the evolution of society, or have ever, no politician has ever increased the agricultural yield, made automobiles safer, airplanes safer. What the hell are they doing there? How do they get the job? There's something dreadfully wrong with education. They tell you if you want freedom, write your congressman. Why do you have to write him? He should know all those things. To give us the tools to live in accordance with what we want, not what they want you to be. They want you to be patriotic. That means they want to control you. Patriotism, Einstein said, is a disease, but he couldn't say that publicly. When you put a man in prison, say he stole a watch that cost $150, so you put him in jail for 7 years. That's a hell of a lot of watches you can get. Figure the cost of that. Feeding him, medical care for 7 years. Let him have the watch. It's much cheaper to give people things they need than to kill them. And when they go to jail, I can assure you, they don't come out any better. Then you got a bunch of people they call psychologists that adjust you to this fucked up culture. How can you adjust people to this culture if you're sane? Do you understand what I mean? So even psychologists and psychiatrists are part of the culture. So is religion. Just consider this. If you went to heaven and you looked down and saw starving kids in Africa, war on earth, would heaven be a peaceful place for you? Absolutely not. There were a bunch of angels that turned against God, so he kicked them all out. If he didn't have peace up there, how the hell are you going to have it down here? Jesus needs money. Jesus doesn't need anything. God doesn't need anything. They also try to tell you that God so loveth the world that he gave his only begotten Son. According to the Bible, it says they crucified Christ, he arose and ascended into heaven. Where's the sacrifice? Think about it. So we don't think about what we just read and we just yak. Larry King once said, "What do you think of Christianity, Fresco? This is a great idea. When are they putting it into practice?" I've never met a Christian that forgives people, that loves their enemy, that turns the other cheek, that has no locks on the door. When a hungry person knocks, they bring him in saying, "Do unto the others that you have others do unto you." I've never met a Christian. And if you want a world without war, people have to be educated to understand that all people need the same thing: good food, healthy living, a relevant education, not killing. Because war only produces hatred over the years. We would train soldiers to be problem solvers, send them back to school. How do you bridge the difference between nations? How can we improve agriculture? How can we fight hurricanes, heart disease? This is the real problem, not killing. So what you really want is a world free of burden, pain, prisons, police, crime. Can we do that? The church has been trying to do it for years. They don't know how. They have no idea of how to say, be kind, be good. How do you do that? If you like the Venus Project, when you leave here, if you don't talk to other people about it, nothing will happen.